Hi everyone, welcome to another one of my videos where I talk randomly about stuff. I thought I'd do another chat about my CFS. I made one at the beginning of the year and I wasn't going to make another one, but I mention it in quite a lot of my videos, like my karate update videos, saying why I haven't been training because my fatigue has just been wiping me out. And I did actually previously already make this remake, but I wasn't happy with it, so I'm doing it again. This is take two, as it were. So since my last video, if you do watch that, there'll be a link on the screen or somewhere in the description. On that original video I was talking really quite slowly because I was really fatigued, and if you watch it, what I recommend you do, I don't know if you can do it on a mobile device, but definitely you can do it on a computer. If you go to the settings for the video, increase the speed to 1.5, and in that way it's a bit better to watch, because it's like a 40-minute video I'm talking in, and because I'm going so slowly, so speed it up to 1.5 and that makes it more manageable. I only realised that because I re-watched it a few days ago to make this video so I wouldn't repeat myself in it, but as you can tell right now I'm talking quite quickly. This is another aspect of having chronic fatigue. I belong to a support group on Facebook, which I mentioned in the previous video, and I asked people, do you sometimes go really hyper and do things really fast just before a crash? And I was surprised the amount of people that actually commented saying, yeah, that just before like a really big major crash they get really hyper and talk really fast and do everything really quickly. So that probably means I'm heading for a crash, because I am talking quite quickly right now. So yay, that's something to look forward to. Also in that video I spoke about being really lonely, how it is a lonely thing because people don't understand what you're going through and you don't often go out. Well, I don't often go out to see people anymore. Since that video, yeah, it's still pretty lonely. I still don't get out nearly as much. Obviously I've got Aaron, Nadine and Steve who help me make videos on this channel sometimes, so I do see them. And I've also got another friend who I've seen a couple of times recently who also suffers with CFS. I've known her for years actually, but I only found out recently that she actually suffers. So, you know, we got together, we had a chat. It's actually so nice to actually meet someone that understands exactly what you're going through, and you can talk to them freely and openly without feeling being judged, and you know, they get it. And I think she felt the same way with me, and actually connecting with somebody who actually has the same condition, it's so good just to be near them and just talk to them and help them. Because as you know, well, you might not know, if you watch my videos you'll know that I actually work in care, so I like to help people out quite a lot, and through my work I've met somebody else who also suffers, but obviously because it's work I can't really talk too much about that. But it's the same kind of thing with my friend, just being there. I think, you know, that person actually appreciates knowing that there's somebody else there that understands. And also, like, I've sometimes write in the support group, and I like helping people. That's, you know, why I work in care in the first place. And with my friend, I introduced her to the support group. I managed to acquire a wheelchair for her that I managed to get from work. So luckily I'm not bad enough to need a wheelchair, but she needs it, so I managed to provide it. And also I'm aware of other people that their fatigue is so bad that they are in fact in need of a wheelchair as well. So luckily I'm not that bad, but it is still a constant hassle for me. It does affect my everyday life. It is something that I think about every day. Obviously if you've been watching my Karate Diary videos you'll know I haven't been training ages. A little while ago I made some videos saying that I would start training extra because there's a grading coming up and I'm going to start really increasing the amount I'm training, and I said it would hurt and it would kill me when I did that, and it just burnt me out. I just could not do anymore. It completely and utterly wiped me out. Along with doing work and the extra training, I just killed me. I'm going to try and go along tonight. I've actually made a couple of announcements and I'm going back to it. Day I'm actually recording this is actually Monday the 24th, I think, just check. Yeah, Monday the 24th. My laptop's down there. I was just looking at the date in case you're wondering why it looks down. Also, in my previous video, I spoke about the brain fog quite a lot. I felt just lately like the fog is starting to clear a little bit. I've got back into my writing. I've mentioned this again in a few of my videos that I want to write, be an author, and I haven't been writing lately because of the brain fog. That's starting to clear a bit, and I've actually gone back to my old work and I've gone through and reviewed it, making a little bit of progress. It's still painfully slow though. But yeah, the writing it's gonna get there eventually. Right now, I mean, when you're watching this, you can't see how I feel in my head. In my head, this I mean, I'm talking really fast in my head. This is what's going on in my head. I'm like, woo, like this. I'm really like, I'm swaying and I'm dizzy and I'm faint. That's what's going on. I'm basically quite good at disguising it. I think with chronic fatigue, you get quite good at disguising how you feel sometimes. I've seen whole debates about this on the support group. It's like, is it better to tell people how you feel and how ill you feel, or is it better just to hide it? I have in the past hidden how I feel to try and make it out that I'm actually quite capable of doing everything, and there's nothing I can't do and the fatigue isn't going to stop me. But that didn't really work out because eventually it became obvious I couldn't do my previous job and I wasn't able to drive at the time, so I lost my job and I lost my license, which I mentioned in my previous chronic fatigue video. Since then, obviously, I've improved a bit. I'm on better medication now, which is keeping me awake during the day. It's not a stimulant, it just releases dopamine to make me feel awake. It's not perfect, it's better than what I would be if I wasn't on medication. I would be fast asleep right now. It's 3:20 in the afternoon. I would be absolutely completely out if I wasn't on medication. There's no chance of me being awake, but obviously I'm on medication, so I am awake, even though I feel like crap on the inside, even though that's not really projecting out. I think that's one reason people struggle to understand, is because although on the inside I'm not really processing, my brain feels like it's running like quarter capacity. When you're watching this on your screen, you're going to be like, you look fine, you sound fine, what's wrong with you? But it's very hard to describe. One thing which I've really become aware of lately is like sensory overloads. I don't suffer too much of this in the day, but I was reading support group and someone was asking about sensory overloads, and I was surprised how many people say that they do get sensory overloads, like too much activity, noise, sound, stuff going on around them, they can't handle it, they can't filter it out. And I am aware of somebody that struggles with this sensory overload, and I can relate a bit because obviously I do have CFS. I mean, like at night time I need 100% sensory deprivation. I need it completely pitch black, no sound, no smells, just literally nothing. I need that, otherwise I can't sleep, which seems weird having a condition where I fall asleep all the time, and then when I want to sleep, I can't sleep unless I have complete lack of any senses. It seems like a bit of a contradiction because I say, you know, I could fall asleep now, and obviously it's light at the moment. I can't really hear the traffic too much at the moment. I've got my windows shut to block the traffic out. Like a plane flew over just before I started recording this, a little low plane going bzzz. So that would have, it seems funny that in the daytime I would have slept with that, but at night time I would wake up. It is a strange thing. It's hard to explain that, you know, you fall asleep when you don't want to sleep, and when you want to sleep you can't sleep because the slightest little thing will just be like, oh, I can't sleep. Then of course then the next day you feel like crap, and it is a bit of a contradiction, but it's just what you have to deal with. As I said in my last video, if you haven't watched it, I say I put the links in, it is really difficult to explain it to someone that doesn't suffer. But so I still don't go out in the evenings. Obviously my karate class starts at 7 o'clock, and I'm usually thinking about bed at 7 o'clock, which is another reason I just haven't been training lately. If they'd had a class in the daytime, that would be brilliant. Unfortunately, where I go, there are no classes in the daytime, and I can't really train in the daytime with any of the other people because they're all working, or I'm working, or if they're not working, most of the people I train with have families, so they want to spend time with their families rather than, you know, with me. So that's understandable, but I would prefer it if there was a class earlier in the day. So basically, I just want to say, you know, I am coping with my chronic fatigue. I am living with it. Learning to pace yourself. People often talk about pacing, and I'm like, oh, it's the way they describe it isn't really adequate, because they kind of like talk about have a plan and stuff. You can't have a plan because you never know how you're going to be from one day to the next. You never know how you're going to be from 1 hour to the next. Yeah, I cope fine at work because I don't do a huge amount of hours, and if I do have a day where I have extended hours, I make sure it's a relatively quiet shift, because obviously I work with various different people. Some shifts are more active than others, and if it's like an active shift, I'll only do that for a short period of time, and if it's more of a quiet shift, then I can do that for much longer periods of time, like from morning to afternoon. I'll be fine, but then, as I said, by the time it gets to around 7 o'clock in the evening, I am thinking about bedtime, especially about this time of year. In the summer, I'm much better. I find the sunlight really helps me. But at this time of year, it's autumn now, it's going to be winter soon, and I dread this time of year. I really, really do. Every time this time of year comes around, I absolutely dread it, because once it starts getting really dark in the mornings and the afternoons, then that's it. My body just wants to go into hibernation mode. It's like, that's it, go to sleep. So, but spring, summertime, I'm much better. I don't know if other people find that. Some people say they don't like the summer because of the heat, and I get that. The heat can be very draining, but I keep myself hydrated. I have hydration salts. I find hydration salts very important to me. In the summertime, I will have maybe 1 sachet a day. Actually, I've got some here. There we go. It actually says on the packet it's for diarrhea, but I don't really suffer with that. Although one of the symptoms of chronic fatigue syndrome could be IBS. I'm not too bad on that. Every so often I'm like, oh, but generally I'm not too bad with that. I can feel myself crashing now. Like I said, you get high before a crash. I can really feel it now in my head. I might actually take a nap in a minute. I think I will actually. I've got this video to edit. I've got another video to edit. I've just filmed, literally just filmed a film review video, which is why I'm wearing the same clothes and the same setup. If you watch that one, you'll see it's the same, because I've literally just recorded that. Okay, I can really feel it now. I'm starting to crash. So I've had the hyper before the crash. Also, I've just been to the opticians today, get new glasses. I find eye strain is a big issue with fatigue. Making sure you've got good glasses. I've always found this, even before the CFS affected my life, and I actually had a life, and I always found that if my glasses weren't quite right, it would make me more tired. So I've got new glasses coming. They won't be ready for 2 weeks though. So yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's getting a bit harder to speak. Okay, yeah. Oh dear. I'm struggling to get the words out now. Yeah. This is why I say planning. See, some people, I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last video or not, some people talk about planning your day, write out like a list of things you want to do that day and stuff. I've tried that. I've tried just having a generalised list. I've tried having a timetable, and it doesn't work, because when you crash, you crash. I generally crash on Mondays because this is like the only set day I have off work, and my body has sort of learnt that, okay, you push through Tuesday to Sunday, and then Mondays, that's it, you crash. I have every other weekend off, but the last few weekends I've literally slept all of Saturday, all of Sunday, and then all of Monday. I'm hoping next weekend to actually not do that, actually go out. But I'm gonna have to have a nap. I'm gonna have to, because I'm crashing now. I'm not sure if I covered everything I wanted to say. As I said, this is actually a re-record of a video that I previously made. What I'm gonna do, because I haven't actually deleted that other one, I recorded it. If there's anything in the video that I made, like I think it was 2 days ago, if there's anything in that video that I want to include in this video, I'm going to edit it into this one, so my t-shirt will change into a blue one, but I'm not sure if there's anything I want to add. But just the importance of finding people. Anyway, yeah, my brain's going. I'm fading. Alright, thanks for watching. Oh, I'm getting smaller, I'm shrinking. I'm shrinking. Anyway, thanks for watching. If, I don't normally do this, but if you have any questions about chronic fatigue, write in the comments below. I'll see if I can answer them as best I can. What it's like living with it. The struggles I've had. Obviously watch my other video as well. I talk about medications quite a lot in that one, and I've also been lonely and other things. Oh yeah, I'm gone. Anyway, so yeah, leave a comment below. I will reply when my brain's engaged. Alright, yeah, I'll see you next time. Alright, cheers, bye. I find that is quite helpful, just to have a little 10-minute nap. Sometimes I can feel myself if I'm going for a crash, but if I have like a quick nap, like 10 minutes is sometimes all I need, and then bam, I'm back up again. Whereas if I try and just struggle through, then that really makes it bad. And one of the other things which I sometimes get just before a crash, and I wrote this on the support group, and I was surprised about the response I got to this, is when you get a massive high. You know, it's like your brain is working overtime. It's like you're doing everything so fast. You know, you're moving quickly, you're talking quickly, people can't understand you because you're talking so quickly, and you're doing this really fast, and you're wondering why everyone else is going so slowly, and you're processing everything at a really, really fast rate, and everything is no, blah, blah, and I can't write when I'm like that, because my hand doesn't actually keep up with the speed that I'm writing, and I actually start writing like the next word before I finish writing the word I'm on, and it's like, whoa, slow down, and if I'm driving I would think slow down, but I'm processing everything so quickly, and I'm so alert and aware and alive, and everything comes to me really fast, and then it's like But yeah, there's a lot of people that could relate to that. One person wrote an interesting thing saying that it could be like when you're burning out, you know, all you've got left is you're running on adrenaline and cortisol, like stress hormones. And I was then reading up more about this and how the type of hormones they are and what they do and stuff, and it makes sense. You've burnt out everything you've got, and you've just got all these stress hormones going around and adrenaline, and it just does make you crazy. It's like you're high on drugs, and then once they've depleted from your system, that's it, you have nothing left at all, and then that's when you get the major crashing, and you can just feel it. You feel your body just go down and down and down and down. It's like, oh, why? It's just the worst feeling. You know it's going to happen. You know it's going to come, and there's nothing you can do about it. You know you're on a high, and you know you're going to crash soon, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's coming. You know it. So this video is basically to say, I don't really know what the point of this video is, but it's just saying, if you're at rock bottom, you think you're never going to get better, you think you're never going to get your life back, you will. It does get better. Sometimes it might get worse first, and sometimes it may get really bad for a while, but it will get better. You learn how to pace yourself, how to, you know, I mean, I'm lucky in my line of work and where they're quite understanding, and the hours I do suit me, and not everyone has that luxury of having that. I mean, problem was with me, I'm not really bad enough to get any benefits. I had the meeting for my ESA when I was on that, and Atul said that could work. I've looked at the requirements for PIP, and I don't really qualify. So I'm not really ill enough to get benefits, but yet I'm not well enough to work full time. I'm kind of stuck in the middle. So I'm going off topic. Oh, I'm losing my train of thought. Well, just saying, because I know some people can feel like, you know, the world is ending. They're losing their life. They used to do things, right? You know, and then now you're thinking, I can't. I still very rarely go out. I almost never go out in the evenings. Don't like flicker. I think this light bulb's flickering.